How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It is a day of another day of another day that we call Sunday, and it would have been on Sunday, Monday, and it would have been said, what's going on, people? Hopefully everybody's doing everything as far as being productive in your life, and I understand that there's a lot of things in life that we're not getting as far as our dreams and our goals, and we're very discouraged because so many things are going, to the left, and we're trying so hard to, win this battle of living our dreams and, just trying to survive, even that much of the matter. And the sad part about it is that I don't think a lot of times people understand what we're going through, and just because we smile don't mean we're always happy. So for all the ones who's still trying to fight, like I always said, don't give up on you. You have to fight for you. If you can't fight for anybody else, you always have to fight for yourself. And at the end of the day, I understand it's very hard out here. It really is. It's very hard. Especially when you're being true to you and stuff. It's really hard. And you don't even have to be true to you because, I talk to a lot of people, all walks of life, and it's just not always a LGBT thing. It's sometimes, it's just everybody's going through their own trials and tribulations and stuff. Anyway, the being said, now I didn't want to talk about this before, in reference to, the people that were killed and stuff in Orlando, Florida. Now the thing is that, I started watching a lot of hate started growing and stuff in reference to, people talking about the 49 people that was killed in the massacre of Orlando, Florida, and and then I started seeing preachers and stuff saying a lot of really mean things and stuff, and the sad part about it is that we're talking about a human life. Forget the fact of the matter of what they was. These are human beings, and it became so excuse me, that was caught. It became so overwhelming for me, that I have to actually just step back, and I had to almost get to the point I had to ignore a lot of it because it was so overwhelming. But I told myself I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait and I'm going to see how this transpires, because unlike a lot of things, I believe that everything you do is a reaction for reaction. And the thing about it is that if you send out hate into the world, don't expect to be rewarded. What the Savior said again, if you send out hate in the world, do not expect to be rewarded for your behavior. On that note, there was a pastor. Well, there is a pastor. What's his pastor by the name of Roger? Jimenez. Here's the picture right here. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know about him and stuff, but he was one of the pastors that started the whole thing in reference to, he was glad that the 49 people got killed. He's so upset that the guy didn't finish his job. And, he just shed so much hate. Better yet, I'll let you hear for yourself the shocking video of the person who's supposed to believe in God and talk about God as love, but yet he shows a God of hate. Now, I don't know what God he's serving, but we all know if it's a hate, it's not the God above, it's the God down there. So, of course, his testimony is going to come from down there, and I prove my case.
Innocent people shot to death in a gay nightclub. Verity Baptist Church pastor Roger Jimenez called the victims sodomites and said Orlando was a safer place without them.
Every sodomite's a pedophile.
Amen.
Every single one, it's an unnatural sin. It's unnatural to want to be with someone of the same sex, and it's unnatural to want to take advantage of a child. I mean, the tragedy is, I'm kind of upset that he didn't finish the job, because these people are predators. They are abusers. They take advantage of people. And look, as Christians, we need to take the stand that it is not our job to sit there and say, oh, this is a tragedy, or oh, this is something we mourn. Or look, the Bible paints a picture that these are wicked people.
A neighbor said she was shocked by Jimenez's sermon, but Verity Baptist Church's website says clearly that the church believes that sodomy or homosexuality is a sin and an abomination, which God punishes with the death penalty. At Jimenez's house this morning in Sacramento, the Baptist pastor said he had no regrets about his Sunday sermon.
My whole point was, if people die who deserve to die, we don't need to be mourning that. You know, this gunman that went in there and shot those people up, the Bible says he deserved to die, and he died, and we should be mourning his death either. So that's the whole point that I was making, and it's just being taken out of context.
What about loving the sinner but hating sin?
Today we have all these different, you think of people like, oh, they're gay or they're this or that. God puts them in two categories. They're either natural or unnatural. And that's why homosexuality, pedophilia, bestiality, it's all in the same category. Their conscience has been seared. They crossed a line. They can't be saved. They're going to die and go to hell anyway. So, if they go
it's so amazing to me how people take out so much time to show someone hate when you don't even know their story, what they're going through, but yet still you feel as though you want to share hate, but then when they hate is shared back to you, you begin so upset. However, like I said before, people are very much getting tired of this, and the protesters got outside of his church and stuff when he was saying all mean kind of stuff. Verity Baptist Church, and they started, protesting outside the church, and it was upset with what he said, and people are very getting tired of all this hate that people are putting out there and using God's name to provoke hate. The sad part about it is that they gotten tired about it, and they showed up. And see, the thing about people don't understand, a lot of people who show up are not even gay. They're actually straight people. But you know what? Sometimes right is right and wrong is wrong, and they protest it. And there's the people that protest right here. Okay, you see that? A lot of people came out. They were upset because they were innocent lives. They were human lives. And guess what else they did? They stood outside the church where he was at, and they protested. And guess what they said? They said, teach love, not hate. It is so sad, for something to be so bad of the LGBT as far as being gay, why is we always the ones showing love while everyone else is showing hate? And the sad part about it is that if you speak of God of love, then why is it your God is of hate? Because you're not speaking of the same God. But people do anything they can to try to demise someone and tear them down. Well, Mr. Pastor Roger, you made your voice, and he's got all the way to people who didn't feel as though he was right. So guess what? Allegedly, he's getting evicted. Yes, he's getting evicted from the harsh, I hope I'm saying this right, investment properties. They're not going to renew his lease, allegedly, because the fact of the matter is that, well, better yet, I'll read the statement to you. It said that we stand with those who make their voices heard. Intolerance and hate are not the values that have made our country great. Harsh Investments Properties said in a statement, we have many places of worship and other religious organizations, and the properties we manage, like all our tenants, the occupancy rights are protected in their lease. But we will not tolerate tenants who advocate hatred and the talking and the taking of innocent lives. So I salute you, property management, because the fact of the matter is that, right is right, is wrong and wrong. And for a person to sit there and use God's name and promote hate and say how much you wish that he didn't get a chance to finish the job, and you still, for some reason, when it comes to people in the LGBT, they keep putting children into it. Whenever they have anything to try to get somebody to hate somebody, they will go by any means necessary. The sad part about it, he has a family, and yet still, you'll reap what you sow. You will reap what you sow in one of your children. See, the one thing in life I learned is that try not to judge someone unless you know what it's like to be like them. If you're not in the inside, telling your story. You're on the outside, so you really don't know the story. It is easy to judge someone when you don't know them, but it is hard to take our time to try to understand them, where they're coming from. I'm not asking you to, or anyone is asking you to jump into the bandwagon and say, well, you know what, I'm going to do what they're doing. It's called compromise. I hear your story, you hear my story. It's with anyone. What you go through in your life and what I go through in my life are two different things. What you do has nothing to do with me. What I do has nothing to do with you. And if you want to make something bad, that's just where you're at in life. You're going to make it bad. But don't be surprised when someone shares the same thing when it comes to you. You reap what you sow. You know, and the sad part about it is that I wish things would be much more better with the world we live in. But hey, who am I to say anything? People are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day, no matter what I say. But thank you, and hopefully this is true, you know, that they lost the lease, and, you know, this is in California and stuff, and, you know, they kept protesting inside the church, and the sad part about it is that there were lives that were lost. People are still going through the losses, and, you know, rest in peace for all of them, and, you know, like I always said, you know, be safe in your lives and your living and stuff, and, you know, I stand with you the best way I can, and I'm only one person that try to do what I can do at the end of the day. But I always say at a certain period of time, it's going to stop. People are going to get tired of that in the closet type of thing, you know. And that's about it. And what I want to share is happy gay pride to all the download men out here in the world. All you download brothers, you know, the ones who run to don't want to watch that mess. You know, you over there with your girlfriend and stuff. I want to say happy pride to you. Happy gay pride. Happy bisexual pride. Happy download pride. Because you are a part of this. Even though you want to deal with your reality. But happy download day to you. Because I see you. And a lot of us girls see you. And the sad part about it is that you're living with a woman or man that make them think that you're so much of something that you're not. You're not living in your truth. You're living a lie. So when you look the girl or the man in the face, remember, you're looking in their face with a lie. The lie you share. Don't be upset when karma comes back and the one that you hid the lie from has been lying to you. Anyway, the being said,